Welcome to the Rotary Club of Hudson. My name is Evan McCauley, president of the club, and we are thrilled to have you joining us today. This meeting broadcast is available on HCTV as well as our Rotary of Hudson YouTube channel. Our club meets weekly at Laurel Lake for breakfast on Wednesday mornings from 7:15 to 8:30 a.m. Come out and join us for a meeting. We'd love to have you as a guest. To learn more about Rotary, our club, and the impact that we are having on the local community and world, please visit rotaryhudson.org. Enjoy the meeting today and be the inspiration.
Good morning, Rotarians. Welcome to our February 27, 2019 meeting of the Rotary Club of Hudson. We have a special event this morning, which you'll hear a little bit more about soon. But in the meantime, may I have Phil Herman come up and deliver the invocation?
Good morning, Rotarians. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you with thanks this morning. Thank you for the food upon our tables that we get to share together as Rotarians to nourish our bodies and our minds. Thank you for our colleagues that gather around that food to bring us joy and friendship. Thank you for the presenters we have each week that help us better understand the world around us. Our prayer, Lord, this morning is simple. Guide us to use our skills, talents, abilities, and our resources together as Rotarians to live your will for our lives and serve others. With grateful hearts we pray. Amen.
And may I call John Adams up to lead us in the four-way test and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning, Rotarians. Good morning. Please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The four-way test. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank
you. One of our guests this morning, I mentioned we had Jimmy Sutton. We're going to be honoring Jimmy Sutphin today. He said, yeah, Jimmy liked to lead everybody in song. And I said, yeah, we still do that. So Chris Barker, would you come on up and...
Hey, Chris, how about this land?
Okay.
Well, that's what you want.
She didn't practice that last night. It's right up there. Okay, oh, that looks wonderful. Good lyrics and everything. All right, everyone would join me in song. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me.
We sound good in here. And may I have President Evan come up and do your duties.
Yes, sir.
Demonstrate leadership.
Demonstrate some leadership. Good morning, fellow Rotarians and guests. How is everyone doing this morning? Wonderful. Thanks for pushing breakfast a little bit back, as we do have a very special presentation, an award ceremony honoring one of our longtime and very impactful Rotarians. And without further ado, instead of hearing me talk more, we're going to call up Gail Royster, and we're going to get right into our program.
Good morning, Rotarians. Good morning. So nice to be back here in front of you all. And it is my greatest, can we get the right, James, when you're ready, the right slide up there? Oh, there we go. Can you, hang on. Don't try to tell James what to do. No, sorry. So I'll just talk and tell you what a pleasure it is to be able to devote the meeting this morning to the service learning class at Hudson High School, which is such an awesome program, one that we as Rotarians have been involved in for many, many years, and one that has very special meaning to us. Pause. Okay, it's all right, we'll get there. I will welcome some students that are here while we're waiting. We got it? Okay, cool. We have Rachel, Kayla, and Nivosh are here, as well as all 4 of the service learning teachers. We all know Lonnie, Brittany, Marty, and Jamie, all sitting back there. Next, please. We have a conference back there. Okay, Service Learning Program is a model program for the state of Ohio. At one time, there were 7, as I understand it, and due to severe budget cuts, there are now only 3 service learning programs in the state of Ohio, so that part is kind of sad, but it also makes it incumbent, I think, upon us to continue to financially support the service learning program. Next, please. 21 years ago it was established by now retired teachers Dee Phillips and Bridget Feta. Next. It's a class that incorporates social studies, American government and current affairs, and English with on-site volunteering. Oh, good. Thanks, James. Next. They need to be seniors in order to qualify. There's an application and interview and teacher references, so it's not an automatic give to get into that class. Next, please. The academic prowess, as you can see, is a wide range. The focus is on believing that everyone can be a positive influence and a community servant. The class has expanded initially from 25 students in its first year back in 1998, so it's 21 years ago, to the current class of 90 students. There are currently 3 sections of the course with 4 teachers, all coordinated by Lonnie Banner. 3 days a week, students attend formal English and government class, in addition to a social justice course. The other 2 days a week are their service placement. The class currently works with, look at this, over 90 site placements all over the state of Ohio. Pretty incredible. It's entirely funded by grants for which the teachers annually apply. I mentioned the budget cutbacks. Again, the support of the community and organizations is critical to the survival of the program. The 3rd Wednesday of each month, guess what? They come and present in front of us, tell us about their site activities and what it means to them and how much we enjoy that. That's usually the 3rd Wednesday of every month. Why do we align ourselves with service learning? The concept completely, in my view, models our 4-way test. And we'll kind of go into that. Is it the truth? These young people are genuinely giving of their time within the community. Is it fair to all concerned? Service learning students bring joy to others through their volunteer projects without jeopardizing their academic subjects or extracurricular activities. We've had athletes and musicians and lots of other outside interests also participate in service learning. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? The relationship among the students, the groups for which they volunteer, and the Rotarians with whom they interact builds friendships on all levels. Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Rotarians benefit from interacting with young people of the highest quality, and the students themselves benefit from interacting with adults who are neither their parents nor teachers, so no judgmental stuff going on here, bringing different perspective to their lives. Rotary Club of Hudson has consistently supplied financial support through our foundation and has participated in volunteer projects with the class. Examples of which: cleanup of Camp Ledgewood, selling caramel corn and roses for our annual fall fundraiser. And Tom, where are you, Tom? Paige? Yes, Tom is so grateful to all of the sales. And of course, they were on my team, so can't beat that. Weekly AV help at our meetings, which is taking place today, obviously. Service learning, as far as the Rotary goals are concerned, they are a perfect match. And now we have some slides showing the great intergenerational relationships going back to 2002, which was when Rotary started getting involved with service learning. Some great photos, and if you look real hard, you're going to see familiar faces in there. The service learning purpose is to go beyond the Hudson bubble, to step outside of the comfort zone, to change preconceived notions of classmates, groups, or ideas, to cultivate joy and gratitude, to encourage civic activism, and to foster compassion and empathy. Our purpose: service above self, the four-way test, philanthropy locally and internationally. Jay, you're over there. Catherine was up in the Art on the Green, yeah. Yes, okay. Service learning's history, 22 years, as I said before, starting with 25 students in 1998. 2002, they were up to 40 students, and then that's when we became involved with them. 2008, up to 60 students, and guess what? 190 students applying for 90 positions, right? 90 openings in the class. So 2 teachers were added and 90 students in 2017. Dan Rich, over yonder, was president of Rotary when we first got involved. We worked with them on the Ohio Bicentennial Project, winner of future projects for all of Ohio, collaboration with Ohio Parks, lots of things going on, painting of picnic tables, equipment, boardwalks. I will never forget the Mud Lake one, which goes way back. Collecting tires. I couldn't, you remember that? I couldn't, how many abandoned tires were out there? And that's when I first got to know these wonderful teachers. Tinkers Creek, as grand opening, you see up there, Jimmy? I'm not sure who the other gentleman is. Anybody know?
Yes.
What?
That's Nick Fishbach from the Ohio Parks.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Lonnie. Okay, next. Ronald McDonald House dinners, kids serving, preparing, cooking, getting press. Next, please. Lots of fun here. Does that look like Jim Hackney over there, sort of? Okay. And Jimmy, yeah, Sutphin. Who else? Oh, okay. The Camp Ledgewood cleanup, which we do annually with the service learning kids, painting, cleaning, trail maintenance, mulch, tents taken down. I guess they have a little fun doing it too, right? Yeah, right. True. They also get into contemporary issues, policy projects, and a lot of us as Rotarians have participated as jurors and thoroughly enjoyed many of the presentations, I should say all of the presentations. Random act of kindness. Okay, I am going to pause here because I have a whole stack of handwritten note cards that these kids always write following our involvement in a project. So I'm going to pass those out when we get to the other room. However, there are two people here, two Rotarians that I'd like to come up, Marilyn and Jay Yard, and tell us a little bit about their relationship with Rotary, and I want to give them their little note cards as well. So come on up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, do you want to just step to the podium?
I'm a fairly new Rotarian to this club, and this is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in Rotary. You know, if we want to raise engaged citizens, this is the way to do it. You know, I was really impressed with the quality of the presentations, but beyond that, the empathy that these students expressed. They worked hard on their presentation, and between you and me, the dynamic in a classroom is different when there's someone there who isn't normally in the classroom. So these kids stepped up their game. You know, there once was a book written that was called It Takes a Village. In this case, it takes a Rotary Club.
Thank you, Gail. Wonderful program. When I've been exposed to service learning, it brings to mind a very poignant song written by Burt Bacharach. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. And that's exactly what you feel as Rotarians when we participate in a service learning class or we listen to one of the class members talk to Rotary. Lonnie and her fellow teachers are fully engaged, and with a great deal of respect, they worry about all of the students' thoughts, opinions, and feelings, and that builds student confidence. The class and Rotary members hear presentations and proposals and then participate in a lively debate about the concept or the issues addressed. That's called democracy. In some cases, the teachers simply point out the strengths and weaknesses of a student's proposition, but it's done with great empathy and in a very positive manner. I wish I had had that kind of coaching before I went to college and perhaps to work. Lonnie and her crew are superb leaders of our future leaders. And I know this firsthand because I've watched my granddaughter blossom under their care. Thank you, Lonnie, Marty, Jamie, and Brittany. You do a great job.
Thank you both so much. I would also like to have all four teachers come up, if they would please, and share a little bit about their relationship with Rotary combined with service learning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So nice to see you today. I figured what I would talk about was, my first time working with Rotary was with the cleanup over at Tinkers Creek way back in 2002 and 2003 when Marty and I were 23 and 24 years old. But what I loved the most about it is that every Saturday, we got there around 9 a.m., we wrapped up about 3 p.m., was just the connections our kids were making with Rotarians. One of our earlier pictures, and Marty and I were talking about this the other day, was Jim Hackney and Casey Meyer putting new shingles on the roof and spending some time together talking about power tools and college graduation and what advice do you have for the future. And then spending time, with Den Rich as we're building boardwalks for muddy areas. Or even, we were just even painting with Sharon with the mural that we made. And it was just really exciting to see that students know when they graduate college or they choose to go into the armed services and they come back that they can continue to serve through Rotary. And that's what we hope to do. I think about some of our former students who are now members of Rotary in their communities where they're living now. So we're just very grateful for you and the example that you give us as educators as well as our students of what we can do in the future. So thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. My name's Brittany Amier. I was one of the 2 teachers who was added on when we expanded the program to 90 students. And so I haven't been working with Rotary for as long as Marty and Lonnie have, but I've really enjoyed working with you guys for as much as I have. My memory, my first experience was actually Ledgewood. A few years ago, and it's really awesome to see the kids working with people. I think Gail mentioned working with people that they don't normally get to work with and learning that they have ideas that are worthwhile and people who want to listen to them and want to engage and talk and just have an experience with them that they don't normally get kind of in a school day. And we very much have Rotary to thank for that, and we really appreciate the fact that the Rotarians are there at 7 o'clock in the morning to help us. What were we doing? This year we were cleaning out a muddy path that had collapsed and filling it in with rock and cleaning up tents and cleaning campsites and everything. And it's really awesome to see the kids engage with you guys, and it's good for them, and I like to think that it's good for all of us. So thank you so much for all you do.
Good morning. So I'm Jamie Cosman, and I've been here a few times. I don't know if you remember the first time that I was here alone. Lonnie wasn't able to make it, and you kind of welcomed me in by forcing me to do push-ups before I could introduce the students. Do you remember? That was actually true. That is true. And what I appreciate about that is the same thing I really appreciate about your when you come in for our random acts of kindness presentations, and that's that you're able to treat every student and myself, and I think Lonnie, I think all 4 of us would agree with this, not just as good as people, as good people, but the feedback that you give, it takes into account the kids that you're seeing. And I'm not sure how you know that so quickly, but I've always been so impressed because there's some kids where you can just tell they need the confidence boost. And so instead of kind of maybe nitpicking a couple of those little things, you maybe give one suggestion and then all these different things that they did well. And there's other kids that in order to kind of help them become more professional, they're ready for it. And so you're able to give them the feedback that really helps them with that. And I'm not sure how, and it doesn't seem to matter who comes to my Random Acts of Kindness presentations, it's everyone. And I'm so impressed by that because you don't necessarily know these kids. And you certainly don't know them, for the most part, probably as well as we do. And yet you still, with whatever that gut instinct is, you're able to treat the people, able to treat our students, able to treat us, able to treat each other in a way that I think is so cool and really meets everybody exactly where they need to be met. So I do appreciate that, the time that you give, and then the professional advice that you give. I think it says so much to our students because they're used to giving the presentations in front of their peers or in front of us. Mr. Yard said earlier that idea of it brings that additional, they really bring it when they come in for that. And so that idea, it really does add that level of professionalism to them, to their presentations. But for them to be able to receive that feedback from you, I think is so, so invaluable for their futures. So thank you very much for that.
Hello, so I'm Marty Bach, and good morning to you. Good morning. So what I'm going to talk about is our policy projects and how Rotary's been involved with that. A number of years ago, in the movement to try to, how are we going to get the students to take American government but make it more proactive and get involved, the policy projects involved them coming up with a problem to research at the state level, local level, or Hudson City School District level. And the students had independent choice on what they wanted to explore. So over the years, we've heard a variety of things that continue to be in the news today, whether it's climate change, human trafficking, issues with, say, Middleton Road or First and Main or Phase 2 or 91 and 303, to student stress levels at the high school, the perpetual junior parking lot issue, bathroom accommodations at the high school, a whole range of things. And one of the wonderful things that Rotary has provided to that experience is when it's structured, and if just as Brittany or I were in the room, it does become more of a school project. And there's grades, and it's just we're doing a presentation because it's part of our unit that we have to do. But when you come in, it does become, as Mr. Yard said, moving towards democracy. Because now they have fellow citizens of Hudson like them who come from different perspectives and different walks of life, whether it's college professors, whether it's people from the business community, the medical community, government service, engineering, that they come in, and when they hear these proposals or ideas, the feedback that you provide as a fellow citizen of the same town as them, and give them a different perspective from your years of wisdom. It really brings it out. I can see it click in a lot of the presentations where they started and they know they have my rubric in their head, and it's like, I got to hit 3 minutes of talking, and I got to do this, and don't look at my slides, look at the audience. But then when you start to engage them, it becomes more of a community discussion. I think the whole thing that this is a school project falls apart, and it becomes actually, this is real. And some of the feedback that you provided and ideas that they've explored over the years, some of them are theoretical, but some of them get implemented. I know one student currently at KSU, Dom Weaver, who did heavy research into the opioid epidemic. He is still active on it at KSU, and he has written to Columbus, and he's talked to people. And the feedback that you provided in that, he has put forth propositions at KSU and also through Columbus that are being addressed and have been implemented. So it didn't stop with the end of the unit and move on to the next thing and take the test or whatever, but it became a habit for many of them, and many of you facilitated that habit growing. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you all very much. It's a wonderful marriage. Next slide, please. Just some more examples of our working together. Hey, look who, wait, back up. Look at that young man. Tom. And who's, wait, Den was over there, right? Den, again? Thank you. And then the memorial parade is coming up. Yeah? Kelly, aren't you driving that? Uh-huh. Next, please. And presenting a grant from Rotary, and we are a little remiss in not getting this to them earlier. So I would like, Lonnie, would you come back up, please, to present the actual check for $1,000. You are so welcome. And while we hold that slide, I would love to have there are 3 students here today. Rachel, Kayla, and Nivosh, would you come up and share a little bit, please, about your relationship with Service Learning and Rotary?
Hi, my name is Rachel Ambrosiak. I'm a senior at Hudson High School, and as was just said, I'm a part of the Service Learning program. And a few months ago, I presented my Random Act of Kindness project to 2 Rotarians, and I have to admit I was pretty nervous going in, but I was instantly greeted with warmth and kindness at the door, which calmed my nerves a lot. It was really awesome to have a member of the community come in and listen to our presentations alongside our teachers, because it just really makes the whole thing feel more real. Our Rotarian was amazed at the results of our project, and it just really affirmed that we've been making a big difference in our community, and it was just awesome to hear that from someone besides our teacher and our peers. He offered us a lot of constructive criticism in a good way. He offered us criticism about how we could become better public speakers and about how our Random Act of Kindness could have made an even bigger impact. So ever since then, I've been a more confident public speaker in school and all of that, and I've been thinking even further outside of the box about how I can make a bigger impact in my daily life. So I just want to say thank you to all the Rotarians that came in, because your presence and your feedback is very valued by all of us.
Good morning. My name is Nivosh Jairam. I'm like Rachel. I'm in the Service Learning program too. So I really enjoy all the aspects about service learning, and so when we come to school for our classes, contemporary issues, Mr. Bach teaches my AM class, and so we have presentations. We had them a couple weeks ago, and so we talked about local, school, and state issues, and so these presentations were, we presented them to our class, and Rotarian members came in to talk to us as we presented and give us feedback. And so one of the most impactful ones was about Downtown Phase 2, and Mr. Strobel came in to talk to us, and he gave us a lot of really good feedback. So yeah, he gave us a lot of really good feedback, and he really raised our activism in the community by suggesting we go to City Council and go to one of the meetings to bring up our thoughts about Downtown Phase 2. And so a group of us went to one of the meetings a couple weeks ago, and we sat down and watched the way that these meetings took place, and it was really interesting to learn the formal way that they get through all their work and vote on issues with the community, and seeing other citizens and neighbors that I know. One man actually lived down the street from me, and I knew he was one of my neighbors. Is really amazing to know the activism in this community. So we talked about Downtown Phase 2. A couple of us went up to just put in some thoughts, and we got a lot of really good feedback from Mayor Basil and the other community members on the board. So they really inspired us, and we ended up talking to Casey Weinstein. I think there's a picture up there with him. So it was a really good experience, and it taught us how to, like Rachel said, to talk in front of big crowds, and be really comfortable meeting new people and having you guys impact us with getting us really active in our community, and sharing our thoughts with everyone around us. So I would really like to thank you for that, and you really helped me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name's Kayla. I've been coming to Rotary actually for 2 months. I came in October, and now I'm here. I was here this month, and there's a reason that I keep coming back, and it's not because of the early meetings at all. It's because community service in this Rotary is infectious. The desire and the want and the will and the drive and the passion to make a difference within the community has altered my perception of the world. It has given me new perspectives. It has driven me to consider what I want to, how I want to impact as an educator, as I want to be an educator, and how I can bring that into my classroom, but also how I can bring that into myself. And a lot of Rotary is about the we, the we, the we, the we. It's about the community. And I've always thought the I, the me. I mean, I'm only 18, so I've had a very short life compared to many of the people here, and you have blessed me with your knowledge and your wisdom on how I can bring the we into other people's lives and how I can make a difference. And with service learning and coming to Rotary meetings, I definitely can see that I'm excited to bring in the new knowledge that I have learned into my future and into my career. And I think you, Rotary, have made such an impact on so many people, and continue to make that impact, because I definitely have, and I know many people that have been impacted. And service learning alone is just impacted by your support. So thank you so, so, so much.
Wonderful observations. Thank you very, very much. I told you in the beginning that I had a whole bag full of handwritten notes. Just, you can keep that slide up there. And I wanted to read one that Lonnie wrote to all of us. Excuse me. Dear Hudson Rotary Club friends, thank you ever so much for your commitment to the youth of our community. Your wisdom, insights, feedback, and kindness with our Random Acts of Kindness project will help to grow into incredible students, will help our students to continue to grow into incredible students and human beings. We are so lucky to have role models like you. Thank you for exemplifying the Rotary motto of service above self. So, Lonnie, thank you for that. And I think maybe the superintendent of schools would like to just say a couple of comments. Phil, will you come up, please?
Good morning again. So if you'll indulge me here just a minute, I want you to think of a few different scenarios. Imagine that you're hiring the next employee for your organization, or imagine that you're recruiting a fellow Rotarian, or let's really hit close to home. Imagine that you are meeting your future son or daughter-in-law for the first time. What are some of the traits, characteristics that you're looking for? Yell them out.
Honesty.
Integrity.
Empathy.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I didn't hear anyone say that you would ask them for their standardized test scores on the state assessments. And so sometimes in schools there's a tremendous focus on that. But in all reality, we are preparing students to live in a world where all of those things that you just mentioned are the most important things to their success. And so we're certainly proud of our students' scores. We appreciate how hard they work in the classroom to understand academic content knowledge and give that knowledge back. However, it's so much more important that we engage them in activities just like you are hearing about today in service learning, and that has been happening for decades, that prepare them to develop those character traits and skill sets that you expressed, and prepare them to be active citizens in ways that can give back to their community and make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. And in order to do that, we need models, and that's where you come in. I couldn't say it any better than what Kayla said in terms of the impact that you have on our students when they see others who exist to serve. And so thank you so much for your role in helping be those models and demonstrate those character sets and skills, or character traits in your lives for our students. We appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, so that ends our presentation on service learning, and we are going to switch gears now. We are going to, well, yes, you certainly, would you like a microphone?
I'm wired now, huh?
All right, Phil Tobin.
You know, I'm just amazed at watching what's happening here. And I'd like to take a moment and just fast forward from the 26th or 27th of February to the point where they're my age and look back at what's happened and the impact these kids have made on their own world. And it's a direct result of what these people who are teaching them and the superintendent and everybody in the schools. But think what impact they've had on these kids, and in return, what impact have those kids had on their own world? Fast forwarding to 86, it's just amazing, and God love you for what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Okay, we are now going to announce the recipient of a very special award. In 2015, you can move the slide, please. In 2015, we lost, sorry. That was supposed to be my last slide for service learning. Ahead, yeah. There we go, okay. In 2015, we lost, our fellow Rotarian, Jimmy Sutphin, for whom this special award was created, and we presented it to him. We had kind of a roast a few weeks before he passed and created the award. This is an excerpt from the obituary in the Cleveland Plain Dealer. Jimmy had a long, rich history of service in Northeast Ohio. From his contributions within the printing ink industry, we called him Inky, and countless volunteer hours, both with Rotary and other civic and religious organizations. He will forever be remembered for his generous, thoughtful, positive, and grateful spirit, as recognized by the last award bestowed on him by the Rotary Club of Hudson, the Service Above Self Award. I have to get through this. Anyway, next slide, please. Our beloved Jimmy. Yes. This is the criteria for the award. The individual must be actively involved in the Hudson community, not necessarily a Hudson resident. Must exhibit the general objects of Rotary in his or her personal and business life. Must exhibit the ideals of the four-way test in his or her personal and business life. Must demonstrate leadership qualities. Must have made a significant impact on the overall community. Must have demonstrated creativity and initiative. Must have demonstrated responsibility and dependability. Need not be well known, but perhaps could be an unsung hero doing good deeds throughout the community. The Rotary Club, let me get the plaque out here, of Hudson proudly presents, and this is a well-kept secret, proudly presents the Jimmy Sutphin Service Above Self Award to the truly awesome leader of the outstanding service learning program since 2006. Come. No one more deserving of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sure, I will.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm just a little emotional for those of you who know me. I am honored and humbled that, let me back up. Jimmy Sutphin is an amazing man. I remember the first year I met him in 2002, he remembered my birthday and sent me birthday cards at home, and I always, just to meet somebody once and to do that is just a really positive example of who I want to be as a human being. And thank you so much for thinking that I am worthy of who he is and what he stands for with regards to Rotary. I can't do what I do in service learning without Marty and Jamie and Brittany. And I love all three of you very, very much, and thank you for putting up with me and all of my craziness. And yeah, so, and I noticed that my Honey Bunches of Oats is in the back, so I love you. So everybody say hi to Matt. So, but thank you so much, and I'm just really grateful to be a part of service learning where we feel like we're making an impact on the community every day. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
I don't know if I should tell this now or not, but Matt very kindly, I asked him I need a picture of Lonnie. And he said, well, you don't know what I did to it. He sent me a picture of her, a little more of her body show. I don't mean bare, I just mean down. No, body. It was a fuller photo at a table, and she has a glass of wine, and I had to get the wine glass out of there. So thank you, Matt. Anyway, with that, we are going to adjourn into the dining room and have breakfast.